Hey, good evening, USA, Canada, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, and of course Canada, of course, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the 5 spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man G Money Stacks, aka the Greginator, YouTuber, host with the most misunderstood lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, and rookie podcaster of Laurelton, Queens, New York, and Queens, New York native. And you're rocking and hanging out with me, along with tuning into the 268th episode of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast. Live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube, and live from Queens, New York is where I'm repping. And of course, the Instagram live feed, of course. Be sure to follow the podcast on Instagram as well. Turn on those notifications so you can be reminded of when the show is going to the show recording is going to be on Instagram live as well. And by the way, if you have any if you want to be a part of the Instagram live feed on the topics that's going to be discussed in any particular episodes in the future or anything like that, you can DM me at gmoneystacks555 in Queens, New York. Just let me know what day exactly, and then I'll just fit you into the live stream, or I could put you onto the live stream on StreamYard. Whichever works for you, we'll do it. And speaking of making things happen, go to the YouTube channel page on the G Money Stacks 555 page. Grab that subscribe button for me and tap on the noti bell alongside with alerts so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, along with the date and the time of the podcast episode recording. And leave a like and a comment along with the episodes. And listen, stream, watch the episodes, share the episodes, air the videos, and of course, tell a friend to another friend, and I'll handle the rest at the end of the show. All right. Now, of course, I am going to continue with the mental health check-in topics. Even though May is over, and happy first day of June to every single one of you out there. And of course, I know summer is around the corner. I know y'all ready. Y'all got your air conditioners plugged in. I didn't plug in mine yet, but I'll plug it in on the official date, which is the 21st of June. That's when summertime starts. So be sure to have your air conditioners on deck in case of a heat wave or anything like that. Of course, be sure to have your waters, your Gatorades, and everything else in between to keep you hydrated, along with electrolytes. So boom, there we go, right there. All right, so let's get into the mental health check-in segment. And today's topic of mental health is about Alice in Wonderland syndrome. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of this, but I will break that down in a sec. Here we go. Mental health check-in. All right. Let's get into it. Okay. All right. So for those of you who may not know what Alice in Wonderland syndrome is, I'll break it down to you. So you can get a better understanding right here. So, one moment. Okay, let's break this down. Alice in Wonderland syndrome is a rare neurological disorder. It causes changes in visual perception, body image, and experience of time. Um, so Alice in Wonderland syndrome is a rare condition that causes temporary episodes of distorted perception and disorientation. You may feel larger or smaller than you actually see. You may also find that the room you are in or the surrounding furniture seems to shift and feel further away or closer than it really is. These episodes aren't the result of a problem with your eyes or a hallucination. They are caused by changes in how your brain perceives the environment you are in and how your body looks. This syndrome can affect multiple senses, including vision, touch, and hearing. You may also lose a sense of time. Time may seem to pass faster or slower than you think. AWS primarily affects children and young adults. Most people grow out the disordered perceptions as they age, but it's still possible to experience this um, in adulthood. AWS is also known as Todd syndrome. That's because it was first identified in the 1950s by Dr. John Todd, a British psychiatrist. He noted that the symptoms and recorded anecdotes of this syndrome closely resembled episodes that the character Alice Liddell experienced in Lewis Carroll's novel Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Um, how does AWS present? You ask. AWS episodes are different for each person. What you experience may vary from one episode to the next as well. A typical episode lasts a few minutes. Some can last up to a half an hour. During that time, you may experience one or more of these common symptoms, which includes migraines. People who experience AWS are more likely to experience migraines. Some researchers and doctors believe AWS is actually an aura. This is an early sensory indication of a migraine. Others believe AWS may be a rare subtype of migraine. Size distortion. Micro microps mic Micropsia is the sensation that your body or objects around you are growing smaller. Macropsia is the sensation that your body or objects around you are growing larger. Both are common experiences during an episode of AWS, perceptual distortion. If you feel that objects near you are growing larger or that they are closer to you than they really are, you are experiencing um, polopsia. The opposite of that is telelopsia. It's the sensation that objects are getting smaller or further away from you than they really are. Time distortion. Some people with AWS lose their sense of time. They may feel time is moving faster or slower than it really is. Sound distortion. Every sound, even typically quiet sound, seems loud and intrusive. Loss of limb control or loss of coordination. This symptom occurs when muscles feel as if they are acting involuntarily. In other words, you may feel as though you are not controlling your limbs. Likewise, the altered sense of reality can affect you how you move or walk. You may feel uncoordinated or have difficulty moving about as you normally would. So, what causes AWS? It's not clear what causes AWS, but doctors are trying to better understand it. They do know that AWS isn't a problem with your eyes, a hallucination, or a mental or neurological illness. Researchers believe unusual no, excuse me, electrical activity in the brain causes abnormal blood flow to the parts of the brain that process your environment and experience visual perception. This unusual electrical activity may be the result of several causes. One study found that 33% of people who experienced AWS had infections. Both head trauma and migraines were tied to 6% of AWS episodes, but more than half of AWS cases had no known cause. Although more research is needed, migraine is considered the leading cause of AWS in adults. Infection is considered the primary cause for AWS in children. Other possible causes include stress, cough medicine, use of hallucinogenic drugs, epilepsy, stroke, brain tumor. Are there associated coordinate conditions or other factors, you ask? Several conditions are linked to AWS. The following may increase your risk for it: migraines, AWS, may be a type of aura or a sensory warning of a coming migraine. Some doctors also believe AWS may be a subtype of migraines. Infections, AWS episodes may be an early symptom of the Epstein-Barr virus. Damn. This virus can cause infectious mononucleosis or mono. Genetics. If you have a family history of migraines and AWS, you may have a higher risk for experiencing this rare condition. How is AWS diagnosed? If you are experiencing symptoms like the ones described for AWS, make an appointment with your doctor, and you and your doctor can review your symptoms and any related concerns. There isn't any type of one test that can help diagnose AWS. Your doctor may be able to make a diagnosis by ruling out other possible causes or explanations for your symptoms. To do this, your doctor may perform. All right. MRI scan. An MRI can produce highly detailed images of your organs and tissues, including the brain. Electro um electroencephal hold on a second. Electroencepha encephal hold on a second, man. I can't forgive me. Let me just say EEG for a sec. So I don't know. So it's electroencepha um encephalogic um forgive me folks for the long pronunciation of this term. So electroencephalography. Electroencephalography. Okay, so here it is. So EEG can measure the electrical activity of the brain. Blood tests. Your doctor can rule out or diagnose viruses or infections that can be causing AWS symptoms such as EBV. Um, AWS may be underdiagnosed. This is because the episodes, which often last only a few seconds or minutes, may not rise to a level of concern for people experiencing them. This is especially true with young children. The fleeting nature of the episodes can also make it difficult for doctors to study AWS and better understand its effects. Okay, so what treatment options are available? There is no treatment for AWS, unfortunately. If you or your child experiences symptoms, the best way to handle them is to rest and wait for them to pass. It's also important to reassure yourself or your loved one that the symptoms aren't harmful. Treating what you and your doctor suspect is the underlying cause for AWS may help prevent an episode. For example, if you experience migraines, treating them may prevent future episodes. Likewise, treating an infection could help stop the symptoms. If you and your doctor suspect stress plays a role, you may find that meditation and relaxation can help reduce symptoms. Can AWS lead to complications? AWS often gets better over time. It rarely causes any complications or problems. Although this syndrome isn't predictive of migraines, you are more likely to develop them if you have these episodes. According to one study, a third of people without a history of migraine headaches develop them after experiencing AWS. What's the outlook? While the symptoms can be disorienting, they aren't harmful. They are also not a sign of a more serious problem. AWS can happen several times a day for several days in a row. And then you may not experience symptoms for several weeks or months. You'll likely experience fewer symptoms over time. The syndrome may disappear entirely as you reach early adulthood. So that was your hold on. That was your so that is your um mental health check-in topic. Alice in Wonderland syndrome, the idiopathic neuropathy neuropathy. I will touch on that in a future episode. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it here. Um. Anyway, so how I'm feeling mentally, physically, and spiritually. Yes. So overall, from the Memorial Day weekend, I hope y'all enjoyed your Memorial weekend and everything else, and I hope y'all are ready for summer. I know everybody's gonna be out of school, out of classes, and all that other stuff. Um, having their vacations and everything else in between. Um, overall, for me, despite the whole um despite the knuckleheads that I encounter, I'm just gonna really keep it pushing right there. Fuck the white vanilla chocolate Karens out there. Fuck them. Because all they do is get away with the wrong that they do. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. so, um, all right, so let's get into hold on a second, man. Let's get into let me see if there's any um okay, let me see. Yes, let's get into um our New York Mass Transit files right here, man. Let's get into it right here, right now. Okay. All right. Here's what's happening in our transit story today that we need to get to right here, right now. And this is from amny.com. Um, a Bronx City Council member has introduced legislation to crack down on the proliferation of ghost cars with phony license plates, hoping to prevent scofflaws from using the plates to drive recklessly and evade tolls and tickets. Oswald Feliz, a Democrat representing the Central Bronx, introduced two bills on Tuesday, which would beef up fines for driving with phony or expired plates and establish penalties for selling sham tags, which many Big Apple drivers use to essentially make their car untrackable and evade speed camera tickets and automatic tolls. Intro 1987, sponsored by Felice, Selvina Brooks Powers of Queens, Raphael Salamanca of the Bronx, and Keith Powers of Manhattan declares it unlawful to drive a car with a fraudulent or expired license plate, including hard to trace temporary tags. Those caught driving with phony plates can face fines of $500 for their first violation and $1,000 for additional infractions. Motoring around with an expired tag can net drivers a $300 fine on the first violation and $500 thereafter. Oh, wow. Wow. All right. So, intro 1988. Wait a second. Yes, 1988, sponsored by Feliz Marjorie Velasquez of the Bronx and Lincoln Wrestler of Brooklyn, goes after the unscrupulous used car dealers profiting considering off a huge black market for phony tags, as revealed in a recent Streets blog investigation. Ooh, oh boy. So the bill amends existing laws prohibiting the sale of license plate concealment devices by banning the sale of fake tags. First time violators could face a $1,000 penalty and $2,000 fine for additional offenses. Oh boy. Do anything. They'll do anything to make money here. At a press conference outside City Hall on Tuesday, Felice said that fake plates are being used not only to drive recklessly, but to also commit other major crimes and escape without a trace. These paper plates are creating new problems that we do not need in our community, said Felice. We have traffic rules for a reason. We have rules related to parking. We have rules related to speeding to keep our drivers and our pedestrians safe. We also have rules related to red light camera violations. We have them for a reason, and we cannot allow people to easily evade these rules by simply printing or obtaining these paper license plates. The Street Blog investigation found that fake temporary tax can easily be obtained from shady car dealers in states like New Jersey and Georgia, where registered dealers can access state license plate databases, quickly print out temporary tags, and sell them for a pretty penny. Untold numbers of drivers in the Big Apple sport fake or expired paper tags bearing the New Jersey or Georgia state moniker. Millions of dollars of revenue owed to the city for traffic violations caught on camera are lost every year to drivers with fake plates or who have purposely defaced their tags. Millions more dollars are lost in toll revenues owed to the city, Metropolitan Transportation Authority, and Port Authority that can't be charged to a car registration via automated cameras. And of course, there's the human toll. Drivers using temp tags have been responsible for numerous fatal hit and runs across the city in recent years, some killing children and many going unsolved. um, on Tuesday, Mayor Eric Adams and NYPD officials unveiled new technology for use by the police that can shoot projectiles with GPS capabilities at cars in order to track them. Police highlighted ghost cars in particular as justification for the new tech debuted alongside the Boston Dynamics DG Dog and some surveillance robots. The NYPD's chief of patrol, John Shell, said the device, which resembles a yellow assault rifle, is a game changer for recovering ghost cars that are stolen or otherwise being used in the commission of crimes that comes even as the NYPD faces criticism for doing little to enforce the law against license plate scofflaws. Last year, the department even arrested a lawyer for criminal mischief for removing a plate obstruction from a parked car in Brooklyn. Felice said more needs to be done beyond his legislation. He said that fake plates can easily be obtained on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and eBay, and said those companies should be detecting and removing those listings. He also said the new penalties only go as can only go far with other states maintaining lenient regulatory environments against the plates, calling on the feds to crack down nationally. Our goal is not to fine, said Felice. However, either printing a fake plate and then driving it or selling a fake plate and making a profit out of it, that is egregious, and our goal is to deter such fraudulent conduct. Yeah, that's pretty stupid, right? That's the stupidest thing that people would ever do. Let's see. And we also have hold on a second. Hold on a minute here. Yes, we also have another transit topic involving the Harlem properties of the Second Avenue expansion. Okay, let's get into that one right here. All right. Um, let's see. Let me see. Where is this? Okay. All right. All right. The MTA is pushing ahead on plans to extend the Second Avenue subway north through East Harlem by making a move to acquire properties in the path of the project, court papers show. A petition in Manhattan Supreme Court on Wednesday reveals that the agency intends to use the state's eminent domain procedure law to acquire several properties that are needed for the next search of the Q line from 96th Street to 125th Streets. Hmm. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. Um. Okay. Good luck with that one. Anyway. Anyway. Um, the 9 lots along the west side of Second Avenue from East 119th Street to 120th Streets are required for the construction of a launch box for tunnel boring machines that would create new tunnels between East 120th and 125th Street. As part of the extension, according to the MCA's filing, the tunnels would stretch from East 120th Street and Second Avenue to existing train storage tracks at 121st Street near Lenox Avenue. They are they are to be used for the digging out of a new 125th Street station that would link the number 456 lines subway lines with the Q train. These filings follow the statutory process laid out in New York law to acquire these parcels, which will allow us to commence this important project for the community of East Harlem. Michael Cortez, an MTA spokesperson, said in a statement, the city reported in September 2020 that the MTA had begun the process of acquiring more than a dozen properties along Second Avenue and East 125th Street through what agency records described as negotiated purchase or condemnation. Now, the agency is mapping out the next set of moves for more than $6, no, excuse me, $6 billion subway extension project that was initially proposed to run the length of Manhattan in the 1920s and had a groundbreaking in the 1970s, but whose first stations did not open until January 2017. Um, yeah, 2017. The new line will make the neighborhoods of the East Side more accessible not only to those who live there, but to visitors and workers traveling from other parts of New York City as well. Lawyers said no lawyers for the MTA wrote in court papers. The properties in the path of the project, according to the court filing, include a storefront, um, Pentecostal church, a laundromat, a vacant lot, and several unoccupied buildings. More than 70 other East Harlem properties along 2nd Avenue, Park Avenue, and East 109th, 115th, 124th, and 125th, and 126th Streets have been identified by the NTA as potential acquisitions under the state's eminent domain law. NTA officials are expected to say more about property acquisitions at the May meeting of the agency's finance committee. A spokesperson said, um, resigned to subway construction. Some East Harlem neighbors noted that while they didn't necessarily want anyone's property seized, the area is desperate for more subway access. Even though eminent domain is part of the process, it's necessary. Ronald Ronald Morgan, age 55, who lives near the planned construction path, told the city it's definitely not worth it to stay the same and just roll with the current situation when we definitely have a transportation issue here. Danny Young, the owner of the Lucky Machine Wash Corporation, told the city in 2021 that the family-owned laundry business had been around since the 1970s, but that he kind of resigned to it being displaced by subway construction. Basically, we have little say in it, Young said at the time. They have the right to take it if they need the buildings. On Wednesday, Young not what Young was not at the laundromat where three customers were washing their clothes among more than a dozen empty machines. I have been coming here for years, but I guess I will ultimately have to go somewhere else, said Ranolfa Burno, age 53, who was doing her wash. There is no standing in the way of progress. Outside La La Boguita Grocery at East 119th Street and 2nd Avenue, Jerry Watts, age 63, recalled the earlier wave of subway construction in the 1970s. They had to shut down the sidewalks in the streets to put in these beams and whatever Watts said. We had a wooden sidewalk for God knows how many years. Inside the grocery, whose building is not among those marked for con- condemnation. Uh, Local resident Henry Rodriguez said, extending the subway to East Harlem will be a boon for the neighborhood. Everything goes up in value and everything's going to change, he said. The church will have to go. The laundry place will have to go, but there are other churches and places to do laundry. Next stop, 125th Street. Phase two of the 2nd Avenue subway line, which would open new stations at East 106th Street, 116th, and 125th Streets, received a key federal environmental approval in November 2018. The NCA is now working to bankroll the expansion with federal and local funding. President Joe Biden has also embarked close to $500 million for the planned expansion in his budget last month. The next phase would make use of an existing subway tunnel from East 110th to 120th Streets that was built in the 1970s and then mothballed, mothballed amid the city's financial crisis. In November 2021, Governor Kathy Hochul toured the tunnel with MTA officials, saying next stop 125th Street, as she hailed the potential for federal funding to kickstart the next phase of the line, which MTA chairperson and CEO Jenna Lieber has long touted as an overdue promise to East Harlem residents. The total length of the line, if ever completed, would extend in four phases to Hanover Square in Lower Manhattan. Well, well, good luck with that one right here. All right, so let's see what else we got to talk about here. Yes, so we got some wild and crazy, we got some wild, crazy, fun stories to get into right here, and one of my favorite segments right here, which is chatting or the jazz right here, right now. And the first topic we're going to be talking about is the root cause of what happened with Coolio, and alongside with the Dalai Lama, and of course what Cardi B has to say. So let's get into it right here, right now. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Okay. You remember previously I talked about how Coolio passed away all of a sudden. Here's a little update in regards to that. According to NPR.org, the rapper Coolio died of an accidental fentanyl overdose. Documents from the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office show Coolio died on September 28th, 2022, at a friend's home in Los Angeles. The coroner's report listed the primary cause of the 59-year-old's death as the effects of fentanyl, heroin, and methamphetamine, and ruled his accidental death. What is with people with fentanyl and stuff, man? Like, seriously. Coolio, whose legal name was Art Artie's Ivy Jr., grew up in Compton, California. He started rapping at 15 and became one of hip hop's biggest names in the 1990s with hits like the Grammy winning, chart topping, hold on. Yeah, chart topping, um, chart topping Gangsta's Paradise, shooting him to the height of his popularity. Um, Coolio's 1994 debut album, It Takes a Thief, kicked off his me- me- meteoric rise. Fantastic Voyage, the album's opening track, reached number three on the Billboard Hot 100. The coroner's report also listed other specific conditions, including asthma, cardio cardiomyopathy, and fen, phencyclidine use. Cardiomyopathy refers to a range of problems with the heart muscle that makes it more difficult to pump blood. According to the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, it can cause heart failure and attacks. Fen Phencyclidine, originally developed as an aesthetic for delivery through an IV, is better known as PCP. It was later discontinued because patients experienced postoperative delirium with hallucinations, but is used today as a recreational drug for its mind altering effects, according to the Department of Justice. Hmm. Yeah, so SIP to Coolio and everything and anything else. So the Dalai Lama, oh gosh. I've been waiting to actually talk about this too, man. So the Dalai Lama has apologized for kissing a young boy on the lips and asking him to suck my tongue after a video of the incident sparked outrage on social media. The 87-year-old Buddhist priest regrets the incident and wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused, according to a statement published by his office on Monday. Oh boy. Oh my lord. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. Why? Why the hell would you actually do this? I don't understand this. I really don't. Like, seriously, I don't get it. I really don't get it though. And that to me is just this is disgust. This is very disgusting to me, man. Yeah, this is very disgusting, man. And I wouldn't even and I can't really imagine what somebody must be going through with all this shit though, man. But this is just beyond that's dumb. Yeah, that's really dumb right there, man. And that's really dumb. Oh no! And I don't really like this one bit though, man. Honestly. That right there to me just says this Dalai Lama character is just a predator. Worse than R. Kelly. Okay. He's worse than R. Kelly though, man. And that to me, that to me is a fucking epic fail right there, man. That's an epic fail. Yeah, I gotta do it though. Yeah, I had to do it though, man. I had to do it because this is so fucked up right there, man. But yeah, this is very, very, very fucked up right here. Very, very, very fucked up. I hate to say this. Um, yeah. I can't believe this shit though. Hmm. Okay, that was pretty stupid though of the Dalai Lama to do this. And I'm just like, listen, he is a fucking predator, man. I'm sorry, but he is a predator worse than R. Kelly. I had to say this though, man. I'm sorry, but I had to. But His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before cameras, the statement adds. A video of the incident shared widely on social media shows a young boy approaching the Dalai Lama during an event, asking him for a hug. The lead, the leader calls him on stage and motions to his cheek, saying, "First here," according to a a live translation from the event. The boy obliges and the Dalai Lama offers a hug, then continues holding onto the boy. The leader then motions to his lips, saying, I think here also. He cups the boy's chin and kisses him on the mouth as the audience laughs and applauds. The Dalai Lama pauses, then adds, and suck my tongue. The boy slowly moves his head closer to the Dalai Lama's, but appears only to touch his forehead before withdrawing. The incident happened at an event in February at the temple complex where the Dalai Lama resides. In attendance were more than 120 students who completed a skills training course hosted by the M3M Foundation, a charity arm of a prominent Indian real estate group. The foundation posted photos from the event in early March, including some with the boy from the video. M3M did not respond to NPR's request for more information about the boy's identity. So the video has been shared millions of times on social media. The video quickly spread quickly on social media, where commenters have called it scandalous, disgusting, and abusive. At least one tweet containing the video shows it's been viewed more than 4.1 million times. In the US, the video has been shared by right-wing influencers who have tried to use it to claim without evidence that pedophilia has run rampant. In Tibet, sticking out one's tongue is known as a traditional greeting stemming from a 9th century myth about an unpopular king with a black tongue. Ew. When the king died, Tibetans began reviewing their tongues to show they hadn't become his incarnate. Tongue sucking does not appear to be part of the tradition. Okay, so as the principal leader of the Yellow Hat School of Tibetan Buddhism, the Dalai Lama is among the best known spiritual leaders in the world. Followers of the spiritual sect believe the current Dalai Lama, Tenzin um, um, Gyatso, to be the reincarnation of his 13 predecessors. In 2018, he said the rising level of African refugee migrants should return to their own continents, declaring that Europe belongs to the Europeans. And the following year, he apologized after telling the BBC in an interview that should have that he have a female successor. She should be more attractive. The Dalai Lama has resided in the green northern hillside Indian city of the Ramshala since 1959. After an unsuccessful Tibetan uprising against Chinese occupation, Beijing Beijing still regards Tibetan Buddhists with suspicion and hostility. The Dalai Lama has spent a lifetime advocating for Tibetan autonomy and has taken steps to ensure that mission doesn't die with him. Though he has dreams of living to 113, he plans to consult with his advisors around age 90 for instructions about finding his successor. And Cardi B chimes in. So here's what she has to say about this, though. Cardi B is no stranger to speaking out recently, sharing her outrage at a controversial video of the Dalai Lama asking a young boy an inappropriate question upon meeting. And this is from the Vibe website, folks. Um, in it, in the video, the world leader sits before a young boy as he smiles and kisses the child before placing his forehead on his. Then the exiled leader of Tibetan spiritual Buddhists mounts to an innocent child to suck his tongue with a gesture and pat on the arm. Innocently but clearly embarrassed, the young boy moves closer to the noble um, laureate before the clip ends. Anyway, let's see what she says here. The mom of two responded to the video on her Twitter account, stating that this world is full of predators and that parents need to teach their children about boundaries. They prey on the innocent. She continued on Monday, April 10th. The ones who are most unknowing, our children. Predators could be our neighbors, our school teachers, even people with money, power, and our churches. Constantly talk constantly talk with your kids about boundaries and what they shouldn't allow people to do to them. Um, Although Cardi's message was appropriate, the up rhymer was still met with some backlash. One Twitter user responded to the 30-year-old with, I agree with this statement. However, we have to reconsider our wording when we say allow. Children are defenseless to predators. They can't stop them. What they need to know is that it's always safe to come tell someone right away, and they will be believed and defended. Cardi B um clap back with, I don't gotta watch my words. I know exactly what I mean from the time you start potting potty training your kids. You should tell them, don't let nobody touch your privates, eat enter enter the bathroom with you, and don't keep no secrets away from mommy. You took one word to try to make a debate. Uh Drink. A few also deemed Cardi to be the wrong messenger due to her past lifestyle. On Monday night, Cardi followed up with, wow, all this support I'm getting at the same time is beautiful. It was deep in my heart to talk about this because me and my friend was talking last night, and then the Dalai Lama thing happened this morning. Thank you, everyone. I just have to realize the people attacking me are just projecting. Um, since since the video between the world leader and the child has gone viral, the 87-year-old has issued an apology on his Twitter account. Um, yeah, and a video clip has been circling that shows a recent meeting with when a young boy asked His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. Reads the statement: His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. It continues. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before cameras. He regrets the incident. Of course, see the controversial video of Cardi B's response. Yeah. I would say, I would say this though, man. This Cardi's right, man. Cardi B's right, and Cardi B's right though, and I really have to really yeah, she's right on this, and I have to really applaud her since she's a mom and two, that she spoke up about all this. So let's just yeah um yeah, I want to applaud her for this. Let's make some noise for Cardi B for speaking up about this though. This is just, it's very awesome. Okay. Up next. Up next. Okay, we got a teen shooting in the Bronx that we need to get to. We got a teen shooting in the Bronx. We need to get to that actually. Let's a teen shooting at all thing. Actually, this is not the first time we heard about this. So Bronx teen. Here we go. Here we go. All right, and this is from amny.com. Bronx detectives are looking for the suspect who shot an 18-year-old man dead on Monday afternoon. Police said Jerome Burley, age 18, of F. Telly Avenue, was gunned down um, in front of a home on the the 1300 block of Commonwealth Avenue near 172nd Street in Soundview at about 5:53 p.m. on May 15th. Officers from the 43rd Precinct, in responding to a 911 call about the shooting, found Burley at the location with a bullet wound in his torso. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. This is very crazy. Very, 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 very crazy for me to hear. Very, 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 very nuts of the person to actually do this. This is crazy, man. Hmm. He- All right. EMTs, no, excuse me, EMS rushed the victim to Jacoby Hospital where he was pronounced dead a short time later. So far, no arrests has have been made in the ongoing investigation, said. Anyone with information regarding the murder can call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIPS, or for Spanish, dial 888-57-PISTA. You can also submit tips online at crimestoppers.nypdonline.org or on the Twitter sphere, NYPD tips. All calls and messages are kept confidential. So, all right. So, let's see. All right. So, okay. All right. Before we go to designer, let's go to Rick Ross and his Wild Buffaloes. And then um there's a couple of things that needs to be there's a couple of things. All right. So, um okay, so yeah, Wild Buffaloes. Rick Ross has a home, a big one where his pet buffalo roam, yet the giant beast still range onto his neighbor's yard. And she's worried because her young kids play outside. The neighbor, who lives on a plot of land behind um, Rick Ross's Fayetteville, Georgia compound, tells TMZ the two buffaloes, aka bison, have wandered onto her property twice this week. Keep in mind, adult buffalo can tip the scales at around 2,000 pounds. She's worried they may impose a danger to her small children. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. Hold on. Okay, TMZ attained video showing Rick's behemoth pets running through the neighbor's front yard, and she says she came home from work to discover the wild scene. Damn. Oh shit, that's messed up. That's fucking messed up though. But she also snapped photos of the buffaloes grazing on the grass near a paved driveway full of parked cars. Oh wow. Rick's neighbor says she went to the rapper's place to comfort him about the buffaloes grazing on her property, which turned into a verbal dispute with a member of Rick's team. Unsatisfied with that interaction, she says her next step is filing a neighbor dispute with the city. She tried calling police, but they told her it's a civil dispute and didn't take a report. In addition to the potential danger the roaming animals pose to the woman's kids, they also appear to be tearing up her yard. Um, Definitely not as important, but it could still be costly. Um, Remember, Rick was gifted the bison last March, and they are absolutely huge. He also has 4 horses and a bull. No deer or antelope. Oh, oh man. Okay, in more Rick Ross news, in more Rick Ross news, here's what's going on with this thing right here. He has a car show that he wants to do this year, but apparently the city is trying to the neighbors are basically trying to prevent that from happening. So here's what's happening according to Double XL Mag. Rick Ross is reacting to the news of his neighbors pushing the city to deny the car show concert Rose plans to hold at his Atlanta area home. On Monday, May 1st, Rick Ross hopped on his Instagram story to address his neighbors reportedly boycotting his upcoming event. I wouldn't even feel right if they wasn't boycotting Boss because I never got nothing easy, Ross says in the clip below. It was never handed to me. I would be confused if they just let me get the money when everybody else just met big rich producers and got record deals and got rich. Ricky Rose had to do it another way. So I would be confused if they wasn't boycotting the Boss. Rose's statement comes on the heels of reports that his neighbors in Fayetteville, Georgia, have urged the city commissioner to prevent the Miami rhymer from putting on his annual car and bike show and concert. Ross neighbors complained last year's event caused traffic problems, with some saying they were unable to get into the subdivision due to the amount of cars waiting to get onto the rapper's estate. This isn't the first time Rick Ross neighbors have had issues. Back in March, they complained about the rapper's buffaloes wandering off his land and into their property. Ross shrugged off the backlash. Um, so if you are in the Atlanta, Georgia area or the Fayette area or whatever, and you like to, check out the Rick Ross's car and bike show, it's going to go down. It's slated to go down on June 3rd. Mark your calendars. Also, Lil Wayne is scheduled to perform at the event, so you can uh check that out. So yeah, you can check that out too. Um yeah, so June 3rd at the at the Rick at the car and bike show, which is happening June 3rd this Saturday, which is the same day as the Hot 97 Summer Jam event, which I previously talked about. I hope y'all went to the website of the Hot 97 website to get your tickets and stuff. It's going to be sold fast, so hurry up and get your tickets. So I just wanted to address that as well. And and of course, and the show must go on. Rick Ross is adamant his second annual Rick Ross Car and Bike Show is still happening, despite county officials denying his permit for the event. On Tuesday, May 16th, Rick Ross hopped on Instagram with a message after news broke that his car and bike show scheduled to take place at his sprawling Atlanta area estate on June 3rd is in jeopardy of being canceled or relocated. I just parked the pink Cadillac out here. We getting ready. June 3rd, it's going down. It can't be stopped for nothing, Rose said in the Instagram story clip. In another clip, he notes the event is on private property and guests are privately invited. Um, Possibly tipping his hand as to the loophole he will try to use to make the event happen. On Wednesday morning, May 17th, Rick Ross doubled down with an Instagram post that shows an old school car posted in front of his mansion. The show goes on. See you Saturday, June 3rd, the promised land, the words above the photo read. Wait, how how do people get tickets, man? So you can get tickets. How do you get okay, so following a petition to stop the event by his Fayette County, Georgia, neighbors, the Fayette County Planning and Zoning Commission denied the permit on May 16th, citing the event is not in compliance with Fayette County zoning ordinance. According to documents obtained by Double XL, the inaugural um, event was allowed as a conditional use in the A to R zoning district and characterizing the event as a horse show, rodeo carnival, and or community fair. Following complaints from neighbors about the traffic woes caused by the event, county officials looked deeper and determined any decision to allow the 2022 event to move forward as a conditional use in the AR zoning district was made outside of the scope of authority of the then acting director of planning and zoning administrator. This year's event is slated to feature live performances from Gucci Mane. Of course, Rick Ross himself is included. Um, so yeah. So let's see. How do you get so let's see. So you want to get the tickets. Let's see. So in order for you to get tickets, right? So I'm about to go on here. You can hold on a second here. Oh no, wait a second. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to find anything here. Oh boy. Sorry about that. No, no, I do apologize for that. There is okay. All right. Yeah, so if you like to check it out, you better go get your tickets to Rick Ross's car show, which is happening June 3rd, all right? You can go to his Instagram page and the link. I'm not sure exactly, but let me see. Um hold on one moment. Okay, I have the website of the car show that's gonna go down. It is rickrosscarshow.com, and you can purchase your tickets. Yes, so that's the link for Rick Ross's car show. Um rickrosscarshow.com. Purchase your tickets, and of course there's gonna be some live performances and stuff. So that's included. And yeah, it takes place in Fayette, Georgia. If you are in the Georgia area, go to the website, purchase your tickets. You're gonna be you're gonna have some fun right here. So rickrosscarshow.com is where you can get your tickets, all right? So there you go. There you go right there. And let's see. Let's see what else we have here. Yes. So we got a Rutgers protest. We got a protest. Let's see what that's about. Hold on a second here. Um, Rutgers. Where is this? Yes, here it is. And why.org is the website of the story. And this took place like maybe 2 months ago, actually. So, anyway, while Rutgers University and three labor unions agreed to a framework for new contracts earlier this month, the dispute is far from over. An informational picket line is expected to form outside the College Avenue Student Center at the New Brunswick campus on Thursday evening. It's taking place ahead of a board of governors hearing on tuition fees and room and board for the next academic year. Union leaders um, said many of those who are participating in the picket will give testimony during the hearing. We're going to remind them that they are still accountable to the community, said Anna Barcy, a staff organizer with New Labor, a union that is part of the One Rutgers coalition of students and community organizations with ties to the university. Proposals addressing social justice remains one of the topics at the negotiating table between the unions and Rutgers officials. For example, the unions are seeking the establishment of a beloved community fund to address financial hardships, particularly when it comes to housing. According to Barcy, they want the university to contribute to the fund as opposed to one of their original demands, a rent freeze on Rutgers owned properties. She adds that landlords in the area around the university's campuses look to Rutgers when setting their housing prices, which affects overall housing affordability in the cities where they are based. Of course, Y News has confirmed that Governor Phil Murphy has committed $600,000 in state money towards the fund during negotiations in Trenton earlier this month. His office declined to comment further about their commitment. University officials originally proposed $250,000 towards the fund during the negotiations, but have recently pulled that off the table, according to Barcy. Whether it be through a bargaining table or whatever, it through collection, no collective action, we're going to push them to fund this community fund so that we can get people the help they need and also build on that, she added. University spokeswoman Dory Devlin said Rutgers already has a robust program to aid students in need. Both union and Rutgers officials say a lot of progress has been made, but a few issues remain. Just 2 weeks ago, the unions representing educators, clinicians, and researchers walked off the job for 5 days prior to reaching an agreement on the framework. Overall, no tentative agreements have been reached with any of the 12 unions that represent more than 15,000 workers at Rutgers. In the same hour, as the informational picket in New Brunswick. Members of the Committee of Interns and Residents will hold a unity break at University Hospital in New York to call for a contract that includes basic mental health care and a living wage. That union represents 1,100 resident physicians and fellows, largely based at University Hospital and Robert Wood Johnson Hospital. Dr. Ali Cooper, a resident physician in emergency medicine at Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School, and a member of CIR's bargaining committee, said the break is not a strike, but a rally. We want to show Rutgers that to be we are proud to be University Hospital residents, and we want support to continue to do our jobs and provide the patient care services to our underserved community the best that we can, she said. Cooper adds that they feel disrespected by the bargaining process and that things are not going super well. Significant concessions were made in their response to the most recent economic package. They turned around in that exact meeting and just repurpose, what they had proposed initially, said Cooper. To me, that showed that they are not willing to close this out quickly. She said the university is not showing support for University Hospital, the Garden State's only publicly funded hospital. Citing union research, she said that pay for first year residents at Rutgers lags behind other hospitals in the region, anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000, depending on the hospital. Wow. 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 Um, wow. Depending on the hospital. I mean, wow. Okay. Okay. It means that when somebody looks at Rutgers, they don't see it as being an attractive employer, as Cooper said. I think it's really going to affect the quality of physicians we can attract. And I overall don't think it's a good idea for New Jersey. In addition to a living wage, Cooper says CIR also wants basic mental health care that is administered outside of Rutgers. Currently, there is an employee assistance program that is managed by the university. She said there are concerns about privacy and adds that it's an issue of dignity. I don't think anybody feels comfortable seeking mental health care in a facility that's managed by your employer, said Cooper. Well, um, yeah, let's see what else. Um, let me see. After nearly a year of negotiations, leaders of three unions that represent 9,000 educators, clinicians, and researchers have approved tentative agreements with Rutgers University. Leaders approved the contract language at a meeting Sunday and will recommend ratification to members at the town hall discussions. The contract will run through the end of June 2026. Among the highlights, full time faculty will see a 14% raise over the life of the contract. Adjunct faculty are close are close to equal pay for equal work when compared to non-tenured full-time faculty. Graduate fellows performing the work of teaching assistants or graduate assistants will be reclassified with full pay and health care benefits. 5 years of guaranteed funding for PhD candidates starting in fall 2024. Longer appointment terms for non-tenure track faculty also achieved in the tentative agreement, a guarantee that the university will no longer withhold or restrict registration trans- transcripts and diplomas due to unpaid fines, fees, and parking citations issued by Rutgers. In addition, the start of a community fund that will be administered by nonprofit organizations and renewable each year. The fund already has a commitment from the state of $600,000. Members will vote on the contract starting later this month through new time and on May 8th already happened. If ratified, the pay raises would be retroactive from last July. The three unions involved are Rutgers, American Association of University Professors, American Federation of Teachers, the Rutgers Adjunct Faculty Union, and AAUP, Biomedical and Health Sciences of New Jersey. They issued a joint praising what was achieved through bargaining. We didn't win everything we asked for and deserved, but no labor contract ever does, they said, adding that members will have the final say on whether the agreements will be ratified. We believe these are strong contracts that make numerous advances for our members. It took a 5-day work stoppage and intervention from Governor Phil Murphy for the two sides to reach a framework to work out an agreement. Even then, the union shifted their strategy while returning to work. Rutgers President Jonathan Holloway praised the governor for bringing all sides together in Trenton. Reaching this point is a recognition that we all can come together and work through our differences for the good of the university, he said. Murphy echoed those sentiments in his statement. As one of the nation's leading universities, Rutgers has long been a source of pride for our state, he said. Ensuring Rutgers faculty are respected and fairly compensated will result in a better educational experience for students, educators, and staff. 9 other unions remain in negotiations with the university. Okay, not bad. Not bad to reach an agreement. Okay. Um, not bad actually. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. What else can we talk about here? Let's see what we can talk about here. Yes, Desiigner. Let's talk Desiigner. Desiigner. Oh gosh. I forgot about Desiigner. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yes, here it is. Oh my gosh, man. Rapper Desiigner, Brooklyn person. Oh my gosh. So Desiigner is having problems with his mental health, a struggle he says has been made abundantly clear after we're told he exposed himself on an international flight. Sources with direct knowledge tell us the Panda rapper was on an international flight over the weekend, coming back to the United States after a trip with stops in Thailand and Tokyo. We're told during the flight he exposed himself and was scolded by a flight attendant. Once Designer's plane landed in Minneapolis, he was met by cops, questioned, and eventually released. As for what led to the incidents, our sources say while he was on his trip, Desiigner got ill and was prescribed meds. He believes the medication caused some sort of chemical imbalance. Um, for the past few months, I have. Hold on a second. For the past few months, I have not been okay, and I have been struggling to come to terms with what is going on. While overseas for a concert I performed at, I had to be admitted into a hospital. I was not thinking clearly. They gave me meds, and I had to hop on a plane home. I am ashamed of my actions that happened on that plane. I landed back to the States and am admitting myself in a facility to help me. I will be canceling all my shows and any obligations until further notice. Mental health is real, guys. Pray for me if you're not feeling like yourself, please get help. That is true. That is true. Now I don't know why. Okay, first of all, it's one thing to acknowledge that you have a mental health issue, right? It's one thing that you have to that you had to acknowledge, right? But to basically actually um to basically jack off onto on a while on a plane, it's just to me it's a little to me it's just to me it's out of pocket, man. That shit is out of pocket. But you know the whole mental health thing. Okay, I get it, but that doesn't mean jack off on a plane just to get attention about your mental health though, man. That right there to me sounds like that's the wrong move to do. So that is the wrong move to do though, man, if you really want to get technical here. Yeah, that right there. Uh-uh. Yeah, I wouldn't even do that shit too, man. But anyway, in a statement to TMZ, Design tells us for the past few months, yeah, I have not been I have not been okay, and I have been struggling to come to terms with what is going on. While overseas for a concert I performed at, I had to be admitted to a hospital. I was not thinking clearly. He continues, yeah, I already read that in the quote. So I hope Designer gets the help that he needs though. And and hopefully, hopefully he'll be back to himself. All right. So it's good that he actually acknowledged that he has a mental health issue. It's good that he recognized that. So that's pretty good though. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Um Yes. So let's see what else we have to talk about here. What else? What else? What else? What else? Yes. Yes. Okay, let's talk KRS One. Let's talk KRS One, man. Let's talk KRS One though. You know what I'm saying? Um the OG. Actually, yeah, I would say old school, but I don't want to say OG because I don't want to say original gangster. I'm not gonna say that shit though. I'm not gonna say OG. But anyway, let's get to KRS One. Okay. KRS One, according to the Vibe website, has announced a new initiative celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip hop, moving into the community center of 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, and Hip Hop Boulevard, the address recognized as the birthplace of the genre. The Legacy MC will lead a series of community based programs, including a masterclass in hip hop, launching Birthplace of Hip Hop NYC. You can check out that website too for yourself. Um, The 50th anniversary of hip hop is a global movement that speaks to the grit, voice, and power of how it came to be in the first place. We used our voices when they tried to silence us, expressed the 57-year-old in a statement. Let's see. Let's see. We used our creativity when they tried to stifle us. We created the culture because we wanted to stand out and stand up for our artistry. Hip hop is the people's movement. I am excited to showcase this to the world in the space where it all began at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, Hip Hop Boulevard in the community center. It feels right to be here where it all began. Um, okay. And we are grateful to be playing a small role in helping to preserve the integrity and history of hip hop and where it all began. Working with KRS One real has been a real education. His stewardship of this effort ensures its success, said added John A. Crotty, one of the owners of 1520 Cedric Avenue. Leading up to August 11th, the date recognized as hip hop's official anniversary, the center is set to provide a series of educational programs that include hip hop's major cultural contributor and the history of hip hop over 50 years, as well as the pop up exhibits to showcase and celebrate not only how the genre began, but also its soul and current expressions. Additionally, um, the August slated celebration includes never before seen exhibits. The Yeah rapper also announced a contest for artists to design a logo celebrating Hip Hop 50. I'm especially excited about this global logo contest. We're calling all creators, designers, graffiti artists to show us their best representation of what hip hop is. Uh, as hip hop marks the historic milestone, we look to this generation of hip hop creators, designers, and enthusiasts to create the official logo of hip hop's 50th anniversary, explained the Bronx native. Beginning on Friday, it happened already. April 28th already happened. Entrants can upload their best effort to be judged by a panel of illustrious hip hop legends and icons. Of course, you can check out the details, more details. You can check out the more details that can be found on the website right here. So the website, like I said earlier, is birthplace of hip hop dot NYC. Sorry about that. Sorry about the truck. Sorry about the truck though. Yes, birthplace of hip hop dot NYC. All right, you can check that out for yourselves. All right, so there you go. All right, so let's get to all right. What else can we talk about here? Yes, um, although there is one place that I want to actually talk about too, in regards to let me see. Actually, no. Before I get to that, let's get to um Audible Originals. All right, so okay. Audible is honoring the 50th anniversary of hip hop with a slate of Audible Originals um programs profiling Snoop Dogg, Lil Kim, Yasin Bey, aka Most Def, and other cultural figures. On Friday, April 21st, the audiobook giant announced its Hip Hop 50 Audible Originals programming, which kicks off in June and will run throughout the summer. The first two releases in the series, um, Words and Music from the Streets to the Sweets by Snoop Dogg, and Sheena Lester's The Greatest Day, the epic story behind hip hop's most iconic photograph, will premiere on June 15th. Mark your calendars. Um, the mother lode, 100 plus women who made hip hop by Clover Hope. and Can You Dig It by Chuck D from Public Enemy will conclude the series on August 10th, one day before the culture's birth on August 11th, 1973. Additional releases in the series includes Words and Music by Yasin Bey, A Dynamic Career in Communications, July 7th. DJ Drama presents Gangsta Grills, July 13th, and Words and Music, Little Kim Mercantile, which has a tentative release date of August 2023. Hip hop has made an indelible mark on music and culture since its inception, running the gamut from the emergence of DJs to innovation and creative artistry in sampling, dance style, fashion, audio, technology, and so much more. Said Audible EVP and head of US content, Rachel Giazza. Audible is proud to celebrate such incredible cultural influence with um, this lineup of new originals that both elevate and commemorate the 50-year history of this iconic genre. The Hip Hop 50 Audible Originals marks the brand's continued exploration of the culture and the music that's defined it, with recent releases such as Songs That Shook the Planet by Chuck D, 7 Years from Tariq Trotter, Sophia Chang's Baddest Bitch in the Room, Bluebird, Memories, A Journey Through Lyrics and Life by Common, Origins, and Major Frequency from Major, among many more. Of course, if you like to of course, for more information on the Hip Hop 50 Audible Original series, you can click here. Um, yeah, you can hold on. I'm on the Vibe website, folks. Let me just take a look here, real quick. Yes, so of course, yes, according to audible.com, hip hop never stops, celebrating 50 years of voicing the movement and defining storytelling. Audible honors hip hop's early architects and enduring artists, rediscover 50 years of fearless self expression and today's most iconic voices speaking truth to power. Yes, so, yes, so June 15th, Words and Music, Volumes 36, From the Streets to the Suites, um, of course, by Snoop Dogg. And Greatest Day is also included, like I said, and everything else in between. You can check out the website, www.audible.com slash MK slash S slash 50 and forever. So there you go, right there, man. This is where you can check out some hip hop related stories and everything else in between. All right, so let's get to the one place that I didn't get a chance to talk about last week, which is the New York Transit celebration for the Bus Festival. Okay, let's get into that right there, man. All right. So, and this is from the Brooklyn paper. I didn't get a chance to mention this. I don't know if I did that, but all right. So whether you are riding to work, school, or even a friend's apartment, a major part of living in New York City is dealing with public transportation daily. It has been that way for decades, while the commute hasn't changed. City buses definitely have. Through the last 90 years, New Yorkers have ridden on very, very different vehicles to get from one neighborhood to another, and the New York Transit Museum is bringing some long retired models them back to life this summer. Um, on June 10th, mark your calendars, June 10th, New Yorkers will have the opportunity to commute through time at the museum's fourth annual bus festival, excuse me. Um, where 8 vintage buses that have transferred the streets of New York at different points in time will be celebrated. The museum, founded in 1976, tells the stories of mass transportation, how it has drastically transformed communities, and gives a spotlight to the minds that have kept the city moving and those who made sure it was done with stylish designs. The event would take place under the Brooklyn Bridge at the newly restored Emily Renton Roebling Plaza, with Dumble's iconic view of the Manhattan skyline as a backdrop. Some of the stars on display include Bus 2969, known as the Jackie Gleason bus, as it's the same model the comedian was photographed in as Ralph Cramden in the classic television series The Honeymooners. It was one of the first 40-foot transit buses, and was specifically designed for New York City in 1948 with um double with front doors. A true New Yorker, the Fifth Avenue Coach Company prototype bus will also make an appearance at the festival. This bus debuted in 1956 as one of the first air conditioned transit buses nationwide. It was designed and built as an experiment. It features a push type rear exit door, rather, wrapped around soft seating in the rear, fluorescent lighting, and a swanky green and yellow paint scheme. Transit enthusiasts will get to meet and greet the Bus 100, one of the first group of 190 buses that introduced the new look or fishbowl style, so named because of its large bubble shaped windshield, to New York City in 1959. The style was popular until 1980. Um, a more familiar face will be Bus 5249 from 1999. The blue and white buses with their signature curved windshields are a familiar sight to the latest generations of New Yorkers. This is the last RTS bus ordered for service in New York City. With their wheelchair lifts, they made the MTA the first major public transit agency to have a fully accessible bus fleet. In in 2019, the final remaining RTSs were retired, ending a near 40-year run. Attendees can climb onto the buses, enjoy photo ops, meet some of the bus drivers, and hear about their experiences and shop at a theme pop-up shop. The festival is free to attend and runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., which takes place June 10th. Mark your calendars. It's a free event. So mark your calendars. All right. And let's get to let's get to all right. All right, we gotta get to let's get to eat and drink. Let's get to an eat and drink story, all right? So um this is a segment that I like to call Munchies and Drinks. This is where I actually talk about the stories in the eat and drink section. So here we go right here. So let's get into it right here. you know the deal. I'm gonna pick out something. I'm gonna pick out something. Hold on a sec. All right. All right. So, okay, we gotta get into the whole vegan night market. All right. So, actually, yeah. Yes. So, from the producers that brought you the Uptown Brooklyn and Bronx night market, MHG Events now presents New York City's first ever vegan night market at Central Park's Woolman Rink every Tuesday evening from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Starting on June 6th, mark your calendars, June 6th until October 10th. Dozens of vegan businesses and vendors will entice foodies with rotating food, drinks, and product tastings. The vegan night market is free to attend with prices ranging from $5 to $15 for food and drink items. Most of the vendors are New York based businesses and are chosen based on the menu options, business practices, and the food itself, which is sans meat and animal products. The vast vegan food offerings reflect the cultural and eth- ethnic diversity of New York City. New York City. There's Caribbean, Colombian, Chinese, Mexican, American, and woman-owned option options vegan food lovers and scene newbies can try out. Well, some of this year's vendors include the Ginger Shop Man, Males Bale, Secret Vegan Kitchen, um, Pinchy, Vegana NYC, Lily Handmade Aromatherapy Products, healthy as, hold on a second. Yes, yes, some of this year's vendors include the Ginger Shot Man, Males Bayo, Secret Vegan Kitchen, Pinchy, Vegana NYC, Lily Handmade Aromatherapy Products, healthy as a mother. Oh shit. The waffle chick, Nada's Colombian Rainbow empanadas. I had an empanada before. Cousins, dozens, and sip and savor BX. Okay. Um, Around 70% of the vendors are owned by people of color, and 50% are women-owned businesses, according to Beatrice Torres Martinez, spokesperson for MHG. One of the vendors, Nada um, Columbia Rainbow Empanadas, told AM New York Metro that it will be selling three different kinds of empanadas: black bean and sweet pepper, vegan chorizo, and sweet potato and vegan beef and plantain. We're excited to be a part of a market like this because we get to share our Colombian style empanadas with and for people who have been looking for the best flavor available, said Carlos Santos, founder of Nadas. Our desire has always been to make vegan options that aren't good solely on being vegan, but but their flavor profile is better than other empanadas, period. Another vendor, Sip and Savor, expressed excitement over sharing their non-alcoholic drink brand influenced by Angul- Ang- Ang- Angolan, Antiguan, and Arubian cultures. Um, some of their drinks include a twist on classic lemonade, a ginger beverage, and a watermelon cola. We created Simple Savor, an island inspired family friendly beverage company in honor of my Grams, who passed away, said co founder Siobhan Francis, who is a vegan herself. We had the whole family in mind as we developed our drinks. Marco Shalma, the founder of MHG Events, said in a statement that the hospitality group hopes more people will experiment incorporating plant-based options into their diets and venture into the growing vegan movement. Um okay, in quote, our goal is to create a space where people can explore and enjoy plant-based cuisine from some of the city's top vendors while promoting sustainable and ethical food choices, Shama said. While some still may shun veganism, vegan diets can lead to higher intake of fiber and certain beneficial nutrients such as potassium, magnesium, and vitamins A, C, and E. Since vegan eaters typically load up on whole grains, fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, peas, and seeds, it's important that vegan eaters pick their options wisely, though, since some studies have found that poor vegan diets can lack protein, vitamin B12, vitamin B2, vitamin D, and iron, calcium, or zinc, according to Healthline and Harvard University. The New York City is already a vegan friendly landscape with plentiful plentiful vegan restaurants to wine and dine at. As MHG Events puts it, there's a rising popularity to to the vegan diet, increased demand for more events around plant-based cuisines, and of course, the location. It just can't be well beat. To find out more about the vegan night market, you can go to the website at www um dot maschospitalitygroup.com/vegan night market. That's www.msc um hospitalitygroup.com/vegan night market. All right, so there you have it right there. You can take a look at a picture of the foods on amny.com/news/ New York City's finest ever vegan night market. That's gonna be under the eat and drink section. So there you have it right there, man. And I think we can conclude this right here. Yes, we can conclude this right here. All right, so um okay, we can conclude this. Hold on. Yes, we can conclude this right here. So, all right. So, yes. So I'm gonna do one more segment right here. One more segment right here. Pertaining to this right here. Um, this is stream choices on the go. All right. So let's get into it right here, right now. And y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. You can go ahead and follow. You can go ahead and follow the New York Avenue podcast, of course, right here on Facebook and alongside with everything else. On Instagram, alongside with Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast and Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. I have an episode to drop tomorrow, which is episode 119. I may not be able to record 120 tonight, but I am going to have a chance to record the next one in a few minutes. So, um, without further ado, you can go ahead and follow your homie right here, G Money Stacks, 555 in Queens, New York, and alongside with turning on your notifications for reminders of questions, um, you know, postings and details of when each episode is going to be dropping. And I am going to include the link in bio where it says Linktree / G Money Stacks 555 right here. So I want y'all to download these apps onto your iPhones, your Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, alongside with your laptops, including Apple, Mac, Dell laptops, and and Windows included. So that way you can get an idea on where you can listen to the episodes and everything else. Hold on a second. Yes, so let's start with Audacity. All right. Audacity, Audible, Audio Burst, Amazon Music, Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podbay, Podfriend, Podhound, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podvine, Spotify for podcasters, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcasts. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio or any other apps that I just mentioned right here. And of course, make sure you subscribe on every streaming platform, including iHeartRadio. You can follow the podcast right here. So Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast is on iHeartRadio alongside with Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the Sports Edition show, and Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast review show is also on there as well. And of course, and of course, do the same with YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and grab the subscribe button on the YouTube channel pages of G Money Stacks 555, where you see all the New York episodes on there, and of course, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, the review show, and of course, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast is also on the sports YouTube channel page. Make sure you grab the subscribe button for those, alongside with clicking the noti bell, along with alerts, along with the date and time, and every and the date and time, alongside with knowing when each episode recording is going to be on the air via live stream, along with the date, the time, and of course, you're gonna see a button that says notify me, so you could click on there so you can know when we're gonna be going on via live stream with the podcast recording. All right, so leave a like and a comment along with the episodes, and of course be sure to comment along with the topics that's being discussed. Tell us what you think about the topics in today's episode or any previous episodes whatsoever, and of course be sure to go ahead and share the episodes, share the videos, listen, stream, watch the episodes, And of course, download the episodes. Very important right there. And of course, before I forget though, man, if you like to support this podcast and the other podcast shows that I do, there's two ways you can do it. This option one, there's the Cash App, which is G Money Stacks, 555. That's $ capital G lowercase MONEY capital S lowercase TACKZ 555. And there's the PayPal. The PayPal is G Money Stacks, Queens, New York. All right. Any amount will be appreciated. You don't need to be from a rich family to actually show your appreciation on anything whatsoever. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount of money you choose to donate that you desire will be appreciated. All right. So there you go right there. And of course, that's a reminder right there. And of course, be sure to tell a friend to another friend, and spread the word. Word of mouth is important. Share the link along with the podcast with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, people you cool with from work, whether it's from festivals, carnivals, you know, different types of events, at block parties, birthday parties, of course, barbecues included, the park, wherever you meet new people. All right. Anyway, man, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for me right here. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Greginator. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me on the 268th episode, Wild Buffaloes, dedicated to Rick Ross. And by the way, don't forget to get your tickets on Rick Ross's website of the car show that I just mentioned earlier. Um, and of course, don't forget to check out the New York Transit Museum Bus Festival, and alongside with the Vegan Night market. Also, don't forget to go to the Hot 97 website for tickets to Summer Jam. All right. It's happening on Sunday. It's going to be happening on Sunday. All right. Sunday, June 4th. And it's going to take place in let me find out. Let me find out though. Hold on a second. Let me find out for you folks out there that's trying to go there. Yes, so it's gonna take place. Hang on a second. Let me see. Let me see. All right. All right, just a minute here. Just a minute. Okay, so where is okay, hold on a second. Okay, so Hot 97 Summer Jam 2023 is going to take place at the UBS Arena. So hurry up and go to the website hot97.com so you can get your tickets. You might want to get it as quickly as possible. It's going to sell out so quick, so don't wait till the last minute. And yeah, I hope y'all have weekend plans and everything else. And of course, be sure to keep in mind that tomorrow is going to be in the 80s. It's going to be 88, I believe. It's going to be 88 degrees and stuff like that. So make sure you wear, like, loose clothing, less layers, have your water, your Gatorade for electrolytes and everything else to keep yourself hydrated and everything else in between. I know I will. So basically, just be careful out there, and remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. You want something, you want to work hard for it and and earn it. Hold on. So yes, as I said before, man. Yes. So you want to you want to make sure you work hard and earn it. You know what I'm saying? And be sure to be sure to know that New York wasn't built in a day. And find your voice, be yourself in what you're trying to do creatively, whether it's podcasting, radio personalities, and everything else in between. And and be sure to look and find something that is your niche creatively, that makes you smile creatively, mentally, physically, and spiritually, that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right, I'm up out of here. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all. I love y'all very much. I love y'all very much. I could have been anywhere listening to any podcast in the world, but you chose to listen to this podcast right here. And I appreciate every one of y'all for helping me reach over 4,000 views on this YouTube channel right here with all the New York episodes on there. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. Peace and one love. Enjoy your weekend at Summer Jam and any other events that I just mentioned, the car show with the bike, and alongside with everything else in between. And the vegan mark the vegan night market, the 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 New York Transit bus terminal, the New York bus festival, and everything else that I just mentioned. So thank you very much. Peace and one love. Good night, everybody. Whoops, wrong one.